Have you ever considered travel and you don't know where to start? In today's video, we're going to share tips of how I plan my travel on a budget and sometimes actually with no budget. And once I plan is when I start working on the budget. Comment down below if you have ever thought or considered travel as luxury. To be honest, I feel like travel, even if it's once in a year, even if it's a very affordable one, is a good thing to just take time out and reflect on your life. Hello and welcome to another episode of Live, Learn, Adventure and Charity. And this is where we talk about finance, personal development, travel and charity. If this is your kind of content, kindly consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. When I am planning for travel, my number one priority is the plan and the budget. If you don't have a plan and a budget, then what are you actually looking towards? To start with, I come up with a plan and a budget. First, I start with the budget because it will determine the destination. Of course, the key thing is I have my bucket list. Do you? Comment down below if you do. From the bucket list, I evaluate how much money I need. Now, number one, we have identified the budget. Number two, we have identified the destination. How do we identify the destination? The money that you have or the money that you plan to spend must meet your accommodation, meet your travel expenses, as in if you're flying, train or road or whichever mode of transport that you're using, and it must accommodate your food and your stay and maybe activities. So, number one, if I'm working with a very tight budget, my first go-to option is an Airbnb. And the reason I say an Airbnb is because you can get affordable Airbnbs which you can stay at an affordable rate and cook the minimal food you can. Why do I say an Airbnb and we have other options? What are the other options? We have backpack. You can just drop in by someone's house. Okay, I will call it backpack, where you just go and sleep in someone's house and maybe chip in the expenses. Number two, you can have couch travel. You can sleep on the couch in someone's house and you pay a very affordable amount because actually you're just sleeping on the couch. You're not using the whole house. And then number three, you can go live with a relative for the few days that you have traveled. But remember, we said even if you're visiting a relative, don't show up without at least shopping. So in every kind of accommodation that you choose, you will need money. And you will need to chip in. Even if the accommodation is free, make sure you go with some shopping. Don't be a freeloader. Okay? And the other option, of course, is a hotel, resort, call it whichever. But like we said in a previous video, there's a difference between a hotel and a resort. So a hotel is just accommodation. A resort, you have accommodation and other activities that you can enjoy in the resort. So if you want to enjoy other activities other than just accommodation, then resort is for you. If you want to just sleep and in the morning you're out to do your stuff, then the hotel is for you. The difference is the hotel will be cheaper than the resort. So depending on what you're planning for yourself, you can evaluate which one works better for you. I have tried most of these accommodation options, and to be honest, as long as you get to relax, enjoy and have time out, it's still amazing. I have visited a relative and it was still okay because you do activities throughout the day. Of course, now you can't go out and party until late night and you go knocking to your relative's house, so that will not work. Number two, I've never done the couch and the backpack, but I have done an Airbnb. Airbnb is amazing. You go out, come in at what time. You see, you are in control. So basically, no, you don't feel bad even when you're coming late, and you pay cheaper than a resort. A hotel like the one I stayed, I think we have a previous video. It was quite affordable, but it was only bed and breakfast. So once you have your bed and your breakfast, get yourself out of that place. And if you want lunch or dinner and maybe you're staying there for a few days, lunch and dinner you eat out. But the good thing is, like the hotel I went to, there was a restaurant next door. So either the person who opened the restaurant next door was just smart enough to know that they don't offer food, and most people would go there, because at night, why would I go all around? But like, for instance, Mombasa is very safe. My experience is you find people walking at night and no one looks like they would harm you. So, but you see, not all destinations are like that. Okay, so when we go to the resort, you can decide to just spend your time in the resort. If you have been following us for a while, we shared a video of Baobab Resorts, Leopard Beach Resorts. Those are in Diani. So you find there are so many different activities. You find there's Zumba, there's of course the swimming pool, there's a spa, there are dancers, there's party at night, all those things. And actually what I like about resort, sometimes you find they promote the local people. They come at night, they entertain you, then they have their wares, they sell to you. That is usually amazing. Yeah, and I think we have others including Plaza Beach, and thank you so much for the love on that video. It's just gets views every single day, so thank you so much for the support. Okay, I think we have dwelled so much on the plan and the budget, although it's the key thing. So let's get to the second thing. Be flexible with your travel dates. Sometimes this does not work, but you can actually make it happen. So, off peak, everything is cheaper: transport, accommodation, everything. So, it's a perfect time to travel. Sometimes, if you want like to travel as a family, sometimes off peak may not work because kids are on holiday at different times, and most of the times when kids are on holiday, it's peak. So perhaps now with that you can work around something like getting to travel immediately they close school, before other parents plan. You have already planned and you're ready to exit. Yeah, we have done that as a family. When we do travel, check out by the way our previous travel experience, and it was on a budget and we enjoyed to the max, and we actually had huge savings. First of all, we stayed in an Airbnb and it was big enough. We were too many, but we were not feeling that. So that is a plus, especially when you're a big group, so that you don't feel like you're visiting each other. If you're able to get one house, it is amazing, amazing. We have had 2 3 houses before, and I'm telling you, it felt like we are just visiting each other, like your home. So for travel as a family, work with tight dates, like you plan in. The other thing on the travel dates, it is better to travel during the weekdays, because again there are offers and other cheaper things that you experience. By the way, talking of weekdays, when the kids are on holiday, if you're in a position to, like for those parents who take off when the kids are on holiday, if you need to take them even to the Luna Park, weekdays are perfect. You find they enjoy for longer and you actually spend less. I have done that, and it is, people don't know that. Most people don't try that, because like when we went to the Luna Park, there were not many kids. And maybe the parents were just chilling, waiting for Sunday or Saturday. If you're in a position to do a weekday out, try that. You will save. And even if you don't save, the kids get to enjoy more. Maybe you're not looking into saving, but the kids can get to enjoy more. The next thing is compare prices. Check the different accommodation in your destination. Check the different travel options. You can check the bus, the train, a flight, all those. And like we have said before, if you want to fly, the best thing is to book way in advance, so that you're easy. You don't have headache of, oh, now I need to travel, I am booking the last minute. My experience with booking last minute is, like, there are some airlines who will overbook because they still want to show that they are top in the business, or they are in the business. And what happened for me, I stayed in the airport for 8 hours waiting for my flight, and the reasons they were giving you were not making sense. My flight was, I think, 10 a.m. and I left at 6 p.m. First of all, I was going for an event which was starting at 3 p.m. I didn't get to the event because the event ended before I left. Now, here is the sad part. I could not have cancelled my travel because you all know I am a saver. I had decided to check through the cheaper flight options. So the one I made for leaving was the cheapest. Then the one for return, it was not cheap. Another version was cheaper. So I booked one different one for travel and another one for return. So you can imagine, if I cancel the return, I lose everything. And my friend, may God bless her for me, hosted me for the few days I was there. So that is also another option, by the way, because she had a big space and she offered, when I told her I would be traveling, she was in an Airbnb, she offered, and I stayed with her for the few days. So that's also something to consider. The next thing is use loyalty programs and rewards. By the way, I noted there are options of getting these rewards and points and all that. First, you register with the airline that you always prefer to use, even if it's once a year. Just register. They will accumulate even over how many years. That's number one. Then I realized most banks are giving these packages of, if you use their card to book for your travel, they give you 5% discount, 10% discount. If you have never seen such a message, check out your bank and the offer that they give. I have seen the advertisement across everywhere. So perhaps maybe your bank is offering a reward for using their card to book your travel. The next and the key thing is booking in advance. I will never overemphasize that. Book even 3 months before. Like now, if you know you're traveling, you should know your dates and you start booking early. I remember last year when we were booking for our family travel, it took us a long time to settle on a house because every house we were checking, it was booked, and we ended up in an old shanty. That house is huge, beautiful and everything, but not maintained. Actually, if they maintained that house, I would definitely go back. It was nice. I must say it was very nice, very big, very special. Can you imagine, you're so many and you're not feeling like you're crowded? It was amazing. And then of course, because it was a villa, we had our private pool. How amazing is that when you're on holiday? But anyway, so that is another problem which you need to fix early enough, and just be sure that you have checked out that house, because also what happened to us, the photos and the house did not match. So it was a bit disappointing, actually. Not a bit, but very disappointing. But anyway, we move. The next thing is eat like the locals, unless you have booked a hotel or a resort. where, I mean, you have paid for the food either on half board, full board, or all inclusive, then I would say eat like the locals. So, if you have been following us for a while, there's a video for our visit to Tamarind, and I didn't do a vlog, but what we did is every single day, or perhaps every single night, we went out to adventure. I think even in our previous video, where we traveled as a family, I also shared that we went to different places and to eat, and we ate different things. So we just adventured, and we would go to those restaurants they talk about that you can get the local food at reasonable prices and all that. Even the street food we tried, it was amazing. Imagine, don't limit yourself into eating hotel food or restaurant resort food. Just try out new adventures. You're out there to adventure everything. Okay, the next thing is research on free and low cost activities. Of course, if you're conscious about your budget, you need to ensure you have looked into each and every detail in your budget, including the activities you're going to do. You're not going to leave your house and then go stay in a resort unless you're just going for a holiday. But if you want to adventure, check out the activities that are available in that neighborhood, around that resort, or around that hotel, or around that Airbnb, and ensure you maximize on them. And if you're on a very tight budget, check out free activities. That way, you will be able to honestly save a lot. The video has become longer than I anticipated, but I have shared what I wanted to share, so it's still fine. So let's close it at this point. We look forward to your feedback. Let us know other things that you can consider when you're traveling low cost, other things that you can consider when you want to travel, and any other places or ideas of where someone can travel and enjoy on a budget or even luxurious. In this channel, we go both ways, so that at least we discover what activities you can do or I can do whenever I want to have a holiday. If you're a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. We value you. See you on our next one. Bye.